Little did Rana know, this day in 2013 would turn a routine commute into a waking nightmare. On the morning of April 24, 2013, she joined tens of thousands of garment workers pouring into the Savar suburb of Dhaka. They rode rickshaws and buses past a squat 9-story concrete block known locally as Rana Plaza. Shops and a bank on the lower floors, loud garment factories stacked above, sewing machines clacking through the night for global brands that wanted ever cheaper clothing. The day before, customers and shopkeepers had seen deep cracks snake across the building. A bank manager refused to open. Small store owners fled, but factory managers called the workers back. Owners feared lost production and lost contracts. Supervisors feared losing orders to competitors. The building's owner, Rana, ordered it reopened. Rina, like many, needed the day's wages. She climbed the stairs past flaking plaster and humming generators and took her place at a narrow bench, threading yet another sleeve into a conveyor of production. At 8:57 a.m., the concrete gave way. Eyewitnesses later described the sound as a monstrous roar, like 1,000 gales collapsing into themselves. Entire families watched the dust cloud rise where their daughters and sons had been moments before. What followed was a scene so raw it shocked the world. Rescue crews, neighbors, and students scraped with bare hands and inexpert tools through rubble for survivors. Photographers captured images that became searing icons: shoes sitting in dust, a child's hand protruding from concrete, women crying and wailing as body after body was found. Over weeks, the official toll climbed to 1,134 dead and more than 2,500 injured, numbers no single city should hold. The horror was not only structural collapse, it was human design. Investigations revealed a pattern of negligence that read like a conspiracy of economics and complacency. The building had been constructed with illegally added floors, columns weakened and altered to squeeze profit from limited land. Reports and court documents traced how permits were routinely ignored, how structural warnings were dismissed, and how factory owners prioritized orders over safety. The day's decision to send workers in despite visible damage was not an accident. It was the predictable outcome of a system that treated workers as expendable numbers in a global supply chain. Global outrage followed. Images of crushed lives collided with the logos of the brands whose clothing had been sewn inside Rana Plaza. Campaigns and protests demanded accountability, not only from local owners, but from the international buyers whose low bids created the pressure to cut corners. In the months after the collapse, unions, activists, and European retailers brokered the Accord on Fire and Building Safety in Bangladesh, an unprecedented legally binding agreement for inspections and remediation. North American brands formed the Alliance for Bangladesh Worker Safety, and the government promised new oversight. But reforms arrived amid bitter grief. Rana was arrested, and dozens faced charges. Compensation funds trickled out unevenly. Many families struggled with permanent disability or lost breadwinners. The narrative that emerged was bleak and precise, a collision of corruption, weak regulation, international demand for cheaper garments, and the silencing of dissent within factories. That was a conspiracy, not a single masked villain, but a system stitched together by indifference. Rina's story, like so many others, became a human ledger of cost. Some survivors rebuilt, some activists pushed for lasting change, some companies reformed supply chains. Yet the image of shoes and rubble and the memory of kin who never returned haunt the industry and the conscience of consumers worldwide. The Rana Plaza collapse is a horror anchored in history, a case study that transformed clothing labels into moral questions. It forced a reckoning. Who pays the price for our cheapness? The answer revealed a network of choices, corporate, governmental, and individual, that together made catastrophe inevitable. For the families of Savar and for Rana, that day in 2013 was the moment when the cheap thread of global fashion unraveled into tragedy.